Hey everyone, for this week's Rockstar Minute, we want to talk about using corporations for your real estate investing. And there's two primary reasons why people will do it. And why this is coming to the forefront right now is because it's budget time in Canada. And if you know anything about why the most recent federal government got elected, they made big spending promises. And now that they want to do all this spending, they need money from people. And that means people like us, real estate investors, there's a lot of talk that we're actually going to be one of the groups that are hit pretty hard with some changes to the capital gains tax. So people are now asking more and more, hey, can we use corporations to invest in real estate? Financially, does it make sense? So here are the two reasons that people typically look at this stuff. The first one is actually liability. Okay, that's the first reason that people often look at this, because if you're dealing, depending on the type of property you're dealing with, big property with many people living in it, with something disastrous to happen, there could be a lot of liability on your shoulders. And if you have other assets that you want to protect, you don't want all those assets exposed to the potential liability of whatever properties it is that you own. So within real estate, here's my poorly drawn properties here. If you're owning the properties in a corporation, your liability for the most part would be limited to everything in the corporation. So it's a big thing. There are some caveats to that if they can prove gross negligence and all this crazy stuff, but for the most part, that's what things are limited to. So that's number one. The second reason is taxes. Right? So there is a financial benefit, not for everyone, because it's going to cost money to set up corporations and to maintain these corporations and to run them as businesses, your real estate investment as businesses. So for some people, it's not going to make sense to set up corporations for the tax reason. However, if you have enough income going through the corporations to justify the expenses, you can drop your tax rate by 20-30%. You can drop your tax rate quite a bit. And that means if you're generating income, then you're able to turn over that income, or a larger percentage of that income, on a faster basis, to allow it to grow a little bit faster, right? So if you're making $100,000 and instead of getting taxed at a higher tax rate, you're able to save 20 or 30% of that, that's an extra $20,000 or $30,000 you can use to invest in further properties or further assets, whatever it is that you're looking at doing. So there are some benefits for the right people with the right structure. It's very important that for this type of stuff that you sit down with like a certified professional lawyer or accountant that understands real estate investing specifically to go through what's going to be right for you. But those are the two biggest reasons people look at. Often people think it's just financial reasons why they would look at using corporations for their investing, but a liability is a very big one, because if you're an investor and you have other assets, you want to protect those other assets as well as your properties. So we'll see how this all plays out when the budget comes down, and what other things we can use our corporations for to limit our tax bills as much as possible as investors. So until next time, your life, your terms.